ഇന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ആയി ഒരു സ്പെഷ്യൽ ഗസ്റ്റ് ആണുള്ളത്. നമ്മളുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഹൃദയത്തിൽ പണ്ട് ഇടം തേടി പിന്നെ കുറച്ച് നാൾ നമ്മുടെ അടുത്ത് നിന്ന് മാറിയുന്ന ഗൗതമിയാണ് നമ്മളുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ ഗസ്റ്റ്. നമ്മൾ ഗൗതമിയെക്കുറിച്ച് പറയുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് പണ്ടത്തെ ഗൗതമിയുടെ ധ്രുവം പോലെയുള്ള സിനിമകളൊക്കെ പെട്ടെന്ന് മനസ്സിലേക്ക് വരും. ആൻഡ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഒത്തിരി നാളത്തെ ഒരു ഇടവേളയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് ഡെക്കേഡ് ലേറ്റർ ഷീ ഈസ് ബാക്ക് ടു ദ മലയാളം ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി. ആൻഡ് സംഗീത് ശിവൻ സാർ പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു E എന്ന ഹൊറർ ത്രില്ലർ മൂവിയിലൂടെയാണ് മാം തിരിച്ചു വരുന്നത്. വെൽക്കം.
Thank you.
We have been waiting for this moment for so long. We have been waiting for you to come back to the industry. So, ഈ മൂവിയിലൂടെ മാം ഇപ്പോൾ തിരിച്ചു വരികയാണ്. A little bit about the movie.
First of all, I have also been waiting to come back, and it looks like I've been waiting for this film to come back, because E-film, E and E is a lovely experience for me. In the beginning, I was a little bit hesitant. I liked the film, I loved the character, everything, and I knew that working with Kuku and with Sangeet is going to be great. Only thing I hesitated is I've never done a role like this before. In this kind of supernatural thriller kind of a thing, I've never done. So I told Kuku one thing, I said, see, I want to do the film, you want me to do the film, but it has to be the right thing for the film. Okay. So go back, think about it, make sure that from all aspects you think I'm the right person, and then I'll do it.
Okay.
So he said, but I know. Then he said, okay, I'll take some time. So he went back and he called back exactly after one day and he said, yes, it's confirmed. So yeah, I'm really happy to do this. And as I said, I've done a lot of films in my career, a lot of different kinds of films, but this kind of film, this kind of a character, this is the first time I'm doing it.
And when we look at the Malayalam film industry itself, we have been very receptive towards horror films. At the same time, we have been skeptical. That's the kind of audience that we have here. So it takes a lot of metal for a movie to be accepted by the Malayalam audience, who are very critical. So what do you think, what did you feel that was very different in this movie that you felt that you can accept it?
See, all successful films, when you look at it, they always fit into the perfect format of a well-told story. You know, there is a certain graph, there is a certain technicality to a story that's told in a way that makes it a success. Like there'll be certain films and you see that there's no story, but it works because of the way it's told.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, you have some fantastic stories that when you tell them well, you will watch the film. So this is a subject that falls into little bit of both categories. It is a story that fits very well into the storytelling formula. You know, you'll get the thrills, you'll get the laughs, you'll get the tears, and you'll get everything, you know, in the correct graph, so to speak. And at the same time, it's a very beautifully shot film. It's so pretty to see, you know, the colors are so lovely, everyone looks good, and after everything that the technicians can do, you have to have the final responsibility for the artists.
Yes.
And especially given the fact that there's 6 newcomers, they've done an amazing job.
Ma'am, ഇപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും നാൾ ക്യാമറയുടെ മുന്നിൽ നിന്ന് മാറിയിരുന്നെങ്കിലും യു ആർ ഓൾവേസ് ദെയർ. ഇത്രയും നാൾ യു ആർ എൻഗേജ്ഡ് വിത്ത് ദ ടെക്നിക്കാലിറ്റീസ് ഓഫ് ദ മൂവി. ഇപ്പോൾ കോസ്റ്റ്യൂം ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് ആയാലും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ടെക്നിക്കൽ ആസ്പെക്ട്സ് ആയാലും യു ആർ ഓൾവേസ് ദെയർ. ആൻഡ്
No, costumes is what I've been doing the longest. For almost 10 years now, I've been doing costumes. Handling the entire costumes for each film that I did, end to end. Looked after the styling, looked after, several other different things.
How is it working behind the camera and the difference? What did you feel about it?
There is a difference, definitely there's a difference. But coming to that later, the first thing was I loved it. I love it still, you know. Now I know that I can do being in front of the camera as long as I know that I can go and work behind the camera as well. So it was really, really good, and I got to do a lot of different work.
Yeah.
You know, worked in different departments, figured out how all the different technical areas work and interact, and actually worked in each one of them. When it came back to being in front of the camera, it took me like a day or two. I was shooting Papanasam, and for a day or two I was feeling kind of displaced, you know, odd, because it was not strange being on set or in front of the camera, but something in my mindset was different. Then I realized, like as an actor, when I was standing there in front of the camera and I'm looking at the actors and I have dialogue, I realized that I'm aware of the entire setup.
Yeah.
I'm seeing what's happening behind the camera, this, that, which is good. I mean, it's fine. It's an experience and it gives you an advantage. But then I also realized as an actor, you have to have tunnel vision. I remembered that.
Yeah.
Because when you're only an actor, all you will see is what's in front of you, what you need to do. Very often there are lots of actors who will not even be aware of, peripheral, where's my light, where's that. So I wasn't as bad as that, but then I brought my focus back to, okay, this dialogue, this scene, this is what I need. I need to only focus on this. Okay. So that was a very interesting thing. So now I can just switch it on and off depending on whether I'm acting or behind the camera.
Ma'am, ഒത്തിരി നാളത്തെ ഒരു ഇടവേളയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം മാം തിരിച്ചു വരികയാണ് മലയാളം ഫിലിം ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിലേക്ക്. ആൻഡ് തിങ്സ് ഹാവ് ചേഞ്ച് ഡ്രാസ്റ്റിക്കലി. ഇവിടെ എല്ലാം മാറി, സിനിമ എടുക്കുന്ന രീതികൾ മാറി, അപ്രോച്ചുകൾ മാറി. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു വളരെ ചലഞ്ചിങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു എൻവയോൺമെൻ്റ് ആണ് മലയാളം ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ. ആൻഡ് ഈ സിനിമ തന്നെ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്ത് ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ സിനിമ വെച്ച്, ഇപ്പോൾ എന്ന സിനിമ വെച്ച് ഇതിലോട്ട് തിരിച്ചു വരാനുള്ള ഒരു തീരുമാനം. വാട്ട് ഇൻസ്പയർഡ് യു?
First of all, what you're saying as a new trend is actually not new, because Malayalam industry has always been setting trends. Yes. Like I wasn't around, but even when you look at 60s, 70s and all of that, what I have heard of the kind of films that were made and the kind of trends that were set, Malayalam industry has always set benchmarks. What you are seeing now is just simply the next benchmark by this generation.
Exactly.
Previous generation has set its own benchmarks. Like that, the Malayalam industry and the people and the way they keep pushing creatively, and even the audience keeps demanding more things or new things or something that they want that is relevant to them, will always keep moving the industry forward. This industry will never stagnate.
Have you ever thought of taking up a directorial role or a role of a story writer, something, especially in the Malayalam industry, if you think, we are very receptive, as you just said. So have you ever thought coming back to the industry in such a role?
Who knows? Who knows? I would definitely like to do that. I would love to do that. But there are stages that you have to go through in life. There are stages that you have to grow through in life. And somewhere becoming a director is the pinnacle of this whole process. Okay. So I've been in front of the camera, behind the camera, produced a little bit, sort of different parts of it. I have had in-depth experience. It's not just, just a little bit here, a little bit there, touch and go kind of. No, I've actually immersed myself. I do know the departments, how it works, what happens, and so direction is definitely the pinnacle of that, and one day I'll get there. I'll get there. I'm into writing now as the next step, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something in the pipeline?
In the pipeline, yes. Let's see when we'll be able to announce it.
Okay. You said about writing. So, in general, we all have our personal spaces, and what is the topics or what is the things that you like to write about or you like to talk about? What interests you? The audience just want to know the personal side of Gautami that we have never seen or hardly.
Personally or writing for film or whatever?
Just personally. What interests you?
A lot of different things. Basically, people interest me. People and the situations that we create around ourselves, the good and the bad that, we either praise or we complain about and we protest against, it's all man-made. And when you go back far enough, you will see the cause, you will see the reason, you will see the trigger for it. Okay. And then it always comes back to man. We have created all of our problems, and that becomes very interesting, because when you do this kind of study, we realize how little we've learned from our mistakes. And we keep on propagating the same thing again and again.
As a writer, I would ask you, from a writer's point of view, we see a lot of restrictions in India right now, or for authors to express themselves.
Any creative person, yeah, that's right.
A lot of bravery it takes. So have you ever felt such challenges when you wrote?
No, I haven't. And everybody else's experiences aside, because it's personal. What is of paramount importance to me is the need for me to be respectful of whoever I address, whether I'm critical of them or otherwise. I'm very, very conscious of the need to be respectful. You know, since I've grown up this way, I've brought my daughter up this way, no matter what and how, it's very important to extend that basic respect to another human being, because as long as that is maintained, then the tenor of interaction, of communication is elevated.
Very true.
You know, it doesn't take long to say poda or podi or go off it. For what? You know, what are you establishing? What are you saying here? What level are you bringing the conversation down to? So I think when you respect the other person, whether they're an adversary or a friend, that automatically gives a great dignity to the conversation and brings everybody up to the same platform. I think that's very important.
ഇന്നത്തെ ഒരു സൊസൈറ്റി നമ്മൾ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയയുടെ ഒത്തിരി ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ മൂവി തന്നെ നമ്മൾ എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പീപ്പിൾ ദേ ഫീൽ ദറ്റ് ദേ എൻടൈറ്റിൽ ടു ക്രിട്ടിസൈസ് എനിത്തിങ് ആൻഡ് ആസ് യു സെഡ് റെസ്പെക്ട് ഇല്ല സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയയിൽ. ദേ ഫീൽ ദറ്റ് ദേ ക്യാൻ ജസ്റ്റ് റേവ് അബൌട്ട് എനിത്തിങ് ആൻഡ് എവറിത്തിങ്. വാട്ട് ഡു യു ഫീൽ അബൌട്ട് സച്ച് എ ഡിസ്കോഴ്സ്?
Coming to the film industry, you're talking about how much effort has gone into it. Uncaring of that, they criticize. Let them appreciate the effort. But let that not be confused for praise for a good product.
Okay.
Effort is the same. I mean, maybe more or less, but it is effort. It is definitely hard work. It's back-breaking work to make a film. It destroys your peace of mind, everything for the kind of tensions that you can get. But that does not necessarily mean that you need to be praised for putting out a film that does not reach up to a particular mark. See, audience is neutral at the end of the day. They're not vested, you know, for or against you. They've come with full hopes of being entertained or getting a certain experience. They've spent their hard-earned money and they're going to the theatre with an open mind. You think that they want to go in there and be disappointed and say this is a horrible film?
No. Definitely.
Yeah, so you have to see both sides of the coin. Yes, I know I've done, you know, like a lot of films, and I know I put my heart and soul into it. And I'll be the first one to tell you that no, all the films are not the same. There are films that I look at today, oh my God, how could I have done that shot like that? How? See, for me, for every creative person, it's a growth process, right?
Yes.
So there are many gray areas in this, and there are many areas that you can look in two ways. But at the end of the day, the audience is not your enemy. The audience has praised films that they have found praiseworthy.
Yes.
So I think as filmmakers, let us set certain benchmarks for us. Creative people, let us set certain benchmarks for ourselves. Technicians, and let's push towards that. There are a lot of things that internally, you know, we can do as a creative or as a filmmaking unit or whatever. But then that's an internal thing. The processes, how you manage a team or how you set your targets, that's a different process altogether. Only thing here that I would actually say that I'm not very happy with is sometimes, as you said, the tone of the criticism. You know, some of them, the language can be very, you know, harsh or crude or whatever. You can say, you know, I saw this film and I don't like it, or this is not up to the mark, or it's a bad film and for this reason, this performance was terrible, or, you know, that technical thing was bad, or that VFX was very shoddy. That's fine. But when you start using adjectives that are very harsh and crude, that is a point at which I will request, you know, which is what I said earlier. There's certain respect that has to be maintained.
Exactly. Personally, back to you, the kind of movies that you have been doing and that you have been working on, what was the most challenging point in your life when it comes to movies?
Every day. Every day. Because for me the thing is, I need to keep moving my milestones. Okay, so today if I'm starting out, I'm here and I'll have a goal and I say I should, you know, get to a point where I say, okay, what I'm doing now, I'm fine, I'm comfortable, I know I can do this well, what next?
Okay.
So that what next to the milestone keeps changing, and I keep pushing in. So for me, every day has to be more challenging than before. That's the whole point of it for me.
മാമിൻ്റെ പേഴ്സണൽ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസസ് കൊണ്ടും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ മാം ആസ് എ പേഴ്സൺ ഹൂ യു ആർ അതുകൊണ്ട് യു ആർ നോൺ ടു എൻഡോഴ്സ് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് സോഷ്യൽ കോസസ്. ഇപ്പോൾ സെലിബ്രിറ്റീസ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ വി ലുക്ക് അപ്പ് ടു ദം അബൌട്ട് വാട്ട് ദേ ആർ എൻഡോഴ്സിങ്. നമ്മളുടെ എക്സാമ്പിൾസ് ആണ് അവർ. എ ലിറ്റിൽ ബിറ്റ് അബൌട്ട് ദ കോസസ് ദറ്റ് യു എൻഡോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സണലി.
Yes. So we launched an NGO called the Life Again Foundation. The story behind the name, I think, if you look at it without knowing anything about me or what I've been through, it's quite obvious. It's when you hit a crisis point in your life and you stick through it, you fight, you get past it, and there is life again.
Yes.
You know, so as long as you're breathing, as long as you're moving, you're thinking, you're alive. And then that means you try, you experience, you live, you know, you face another day with a smile. That's the thing. So through this Life Again Foundation, especially over the last 5-6 months, we've been pretty active. We've set up chapters in different places, and I'm so touched and moved by the number of people that are coming forward saying, you know, we want to be a part of this and we want to be a part of this. Hyderabad and Vizag recently we had blood donation camps. Before that we've had health awareness screening camps. Right now they're focusing on health. In Kuwait we have a very strong chapter, and they are going to be starting up certain things. They've already been working a lot with the Indian community there that goes and, you know, has issues and health issues. They have problems with their stay, financially, they need support. So they've been doing work over there. We're going to be setting up one now in Germany, where we're going to be going into raising awareness and increasing cooperation in health education.
Okay.
Bring the latest in learning in, say, cancer treatments and cancer research and all, bring that here to India. So that's one thing that we're working on. On the 2nd, actually, we launched in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. And our first project there, my pet project, is health, of course, that's critical, but what I'm now focusing on is education.
Okay.
Bridging that gap of the two ends of the spectrum. You know, the very well equipped and well supported, and, you know, the spectrum that basically there's 4 walls and a roof and say, okay, that's your school, go. That is happening too much.
Yes.
So the idea is to empower that end of the spectrum and give them the platform and the system and the support that allows them to access the same kind of education. Because every child has an equal right to education.
Actually, hats off to you, ma'am, for the example that you have set. You have been resilient. You have shown us, all of us, we have been inspired by your example. I should say this at this moment.
Thank you.
From the work that you are doing, and you, especially actually what you went through in life and how you just rose like a phoenix after that.
Thank you. See, but the thing is, Liz, it's very simple. When you're faced with a problem or you're faced with a situation where you think you've lost everything, or it's a blow that is so great, your heart is shattered, or, you know, your work is gone, whatever, you always have 2 options, right? You can sit down in the corner and cry, or you can get up and try to find a way out of it.
Exactly.
So it's simply a question of which choice. To get up and find a way out of it is not easy. You know, it's not, okay, neenga sollittu poiruveenga, you know, you'll just say whatever it is and go. But I've been there. I make that choice on a regular basis, because nothing about my life is easy or, you know, handed on a silver platter or anything. But I make that choice because that's who I want to be. I can't be that person who sits down and says, oh my God, this is too much, I give up. Failure is not an option, because as long as you're alive, you're breathing, you fight. And when you fight, you will see the victory in the small moments every day. You're standing up now, no? You might not have won what you want, but you're still standing up. You're still fighting. That itself is a victory. So it's about making that choice.
So a little bit about the movie to the audience now.
The movie is going to be a movie that thrills you, that will touch you, touch your heart, your emotions, that will make you hum with us, because we have beautiful songs. It'll make you fall in love with all of our characters because they've done such a good job. They've performed so well. So it was really good for me. I loved it. And especially, as I said, coming back after a long time and performing like this, it was a big help for me also. So I should also say thank you to every one of my Magic Six, I should call them that. They were really amazing. And it's going to be a wonderful film to watch. More than pretty, it's a beautiful film. Colors are vibrant. Everyone looks great. Kerala looks beautiful. So in every which way, this film is going to be something that pulls you in, that entertains you, that'll thrill you, that'll make you cry a little, laugh a little. Really nice. And oh yeah, there's romance also.
So all the best for the movie, ma'am, and welcome back. Please do stay
Thank
here.
you so much.
We'd love
Thank
to
you,
see
thank
more
you.
of
I'm back here.
Thank you for being on our show. It was an honor to have you.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.